That's basically why we wonder most times that why we are not at peace, why we are not enjoying the joy of the Lord. Trust me, there is joy that comes with knowing your purpose, you living out your purpose. Please, we just have to spend time with God. Have a relationship, a cordial relationship with God. I know it can be very challenging, but trust me, it will still take the grace of God, even to committing to this, that you see to it that every day will not just pass by without you having to spend time with your Maker. All right, our greetings, everyone. Trust we all are doing well and having a wonderful time at our individual location. This will be the part 2 of the video I dropped last week. That we need the real you and not your being available. Looking at the times that we are, the state of the economy, how busy, how things have become, that every of our focus, somehow, is no longer on what actually matters. Okay, this will be the part 2 of that video. How much of your day, your 24 hours, is for God? You might have to look back to think about the past days, looking at the past weeks, the past months. How much of those days now, use a sample, just use one of it to check. Okay, you woke up, all of these things were things you did. How much of it was for God? For most reason, we tend to live life as though we are the owner of our lives. We all of the thoughts, all of the the engagement, all of the doings daily is always on how to make ourselves better, how to live a comfortable life, how to the new cars, the new houses, children, all of that. I'm not against them, trust me. I love all of those things. All I'm saying is that we are not the owner of our lives. We have our creator, the manufacturer. Trust me, that is why basically, looking at the economy, we are drained, that we don't even have time for ourselves, to communicating to our maker, to having relationship to our maker. Trust me, if you have been with me on this channel, on this community, I've talked a lot about discovering yourself. And discovering yourself, even as it is okay to look into yourself, but you are not the one who created yourself. You have to depend on the manufacturer. The manufacturer knows you even more than you know yourself. Before you were born, he knows you. So focusing on yourself, what to eat, what to drink, and what to put on shouldn't be the goal as a believer, especially as a believer. Even as all of those things are true, but our focus should be a thorough relationship. I don't know if you have discovered your purpose. I don't know if you have discovered your why. But trust me, all through the process will require God. You depending on God, you depending on your creator, because it will take him to living out your purpose. I remember I said this before now in my past video, that if you can live out your purpose, your why, your essence by yourself, it is not your purpose. In fact, it is not from God. It would take God for you to discovering this. It would take God for you to refining it. It would take God for you to manifesting it. But looking at the times that we are, the noise, social media, friends, all of these things going on, you begin to wonder, are you still in line with your purpose? Are you still, in line with what God has said about you? Are you letting these things drain, your strength away, that you don't have any time for God? How much of your day, how much of your time in a day did you have for God? That's the question. The first relationship you should want to have. It's not the relationship with your neighbor. It's not the relationship with your co-worker. When you are not in line with God, trust me, you have issues with every other relationship. Spend time with God, have a close one-on-one relationship with God. Trust me, we go a long way in helping you even as you journey through life. So I beg you in this video that you should please do all you can to spending time with God daily. It's a daily thing. Even as it's good to, have, engaged, you are working for God. Even as that is true, it's possible for you to be working for, a God you do not know, serving a God you do not know, you are not in relationship with. The first thing is a relationship. God wants to meet with you daily. He wants to have a koinonia, a fellowship with you. But for most reason, we can be very busy that we left what actually matters in pursuit of things that are not, that should be secondary. So basically, that's my message to you this morning.